Most people think malware is created by typing mysterious green code into a dark screen. That image belongs to movies and outdated stereotypes. That's not how modern malware works. In 2026, malware isn't just about programming skill or technical brilliance. It's about psychology, system design, misconfigurations, incentives, and human trust. Attackers study people as much as they study machines. They observe habits, routines, and assumptions, then quietly build their attacks around them. And here's the truth defenders must understand. You can't stop malware if you don't understand how attackers think when designing it. Pure tools are not enough. Pure rules are not enough. Welcome to Cybercrime Hub. In today's video, we're dissecting how malware is designed conceptually so defenders can recognize it, detect it, and stop it before damage occurs. This is malware design explained for defenders, analysts, students, and anyone serious about digital security. Section 1. What malware design really means. When attackers design malware, they don't start with code. They start with questions, assumptions, and constraints. Who is the target? What systems do they use daily? What security controls are likely present or missing? What human behavior can be exploited under pressure, urgency, or convenience? Malware design is about strategy before execution. Attackers think in terms of outcomes, not syntax. They map environments the same way engineers map terrain. Just like engineers design bridges based on load, terrain, weather, and materials, attackers design malware based on operating systems and patch levels, network architecture and visibility, user habits and workflows, organizational weaknesses and culture. Understanding this mindset helps defenders anticipate threats instead of reacting late. Defense begins with perspective. Section 2. The modern malware lifecycle. Almost all malware, no matter how advanced, follows a life cycle. It may be fast or slow, noisy or silent, but the stages remain. Defenders study this life cycle because every phase creates detection opportunities. No malware is invisible forever. At a high level, malware is designed to move through these stages. Initial access, execution, persistence, privilege escalation, data access or disruption, communication with external systems, cleanup or hiding. Each stage leaves traces in logs, memory, behavior, or traffic patterns. Security teams don't need to know how to write malware. They need to know where malware reveals itself, even when it tries not to. Detection is about timing, correlation, and context, not guessing. Section 3. Initial access, where most attacks begin. Attackers rarely break in the way movies show. They don't smash firewalls head-on. Most malware designs assume someone opens the door, knowingly or not. Initial access relies on familiarity, urgency, and routine. Common design assumptions include: people trust familiar-looking requests. Users move fast under pressure. Daily workflows are predictable. From a defensive perspective, this means email security matters more than brute force protection. User awareness is a real security control. Policy enforcement reduces attack surface. When defenders harden entry points and challenge assumptions, malware design collapses early.
If malware can't enter the system, the rest of its design fails entirely.
Section 4. Execution without raising alarms. Modern malware is designed to blend in, not stand out. Noise attracts attention. Silence survives. Instead of obvious malicious activity, attackers design malware to look like normal system behavior. Use trusted processes and expected actions. Avoid triggering signature-based detection. This forces defenders to move beyond simple alerts. For defenders, this means behavioral monitoring beats static rules. Context matters more than individual events. Visibility into process behavior is critical. Malware doesn't need to be loud to succeed. It just needs to remain unnoticed long enough to achieve its objective. Section 5. Persistent staying after restart. One of the most important design goals of malware is persistence. Attackers think long-term. They ask a simple question: if the system restarts tomorrow, will I still be here? Persistence techniques are designed around system startup behavior, scheduled activity, legitimate configuration features. Defenders counter this by focusing on baseline comparisons, change monitoring, startup audits. Early detection of persistence often prevents full compromise. When defenders monitor what changes, attackers lose the advantage of time. Section 6. Privilege access. Why least privilege matters. Malware doesn't always need full control, but attackers want options. Every extra permission expands impact. Design decisions often assume weak privilege separation, over-permissioned users, poor internal segmentation. From a defense, least privilege limits malware impact. Segmentation slows lateral movement. Access reviews reduce escalation paths. Strong access control doesn't just protect data, it breaks malware assumptions. The fewer doors open, the harder malware can move. Section 7. Communication data movement. Most malware is designed to communicate externally because isolation limits its value. Control, updates, coordination, or data movement all require connectivity at some stage of the attack. This doesn't always mean obvious connections or suspicious traffic spikes. Modern malware assumes defenders are watching, so communication is deliberately subtle. Attackers design communication to look normal and expected, blend into regular traffic patterns, reuse common protocols and destinations, avoid triggering outbound controls or alerts. This forces defenders to shift from simple allow lists to behavioral awareness. Defenders respond with strong network visibility across endpoints and gateways, traffic pattern analysis over time, not just snapshots, anomaly detection that focuses on deviations, not signatures. When defenders truly understand what normal looks like, abnormal behavior becomes easier to spot. Visibility turns silence into evidence and evidence into action. Section 8. Hiding, cleanup, and long-term presence. Advanced malware design always includes plans for survival after discovery attempts. Attackers expect partial detection and prepare for it. Common design goals include reducing traces in obvious locations, avoiding or manipulating logs, remaining dormant until conditions are favorable. Attackers often assume defenders won't look far back in time or correlate events across systems. That assumption is frequently wrong and increasingly dangerous for attackers. Defensive teams counter this with centralized logging across environments, active threat hunting, not just alert response, historical analysis that reconstructs timelines. Attackers may forget actions over time, but logs don't. Memory, correlation, and patience turn defensive teams into investigators. In modern security, time favors defenders who keep records. Section 9. How AI changed malware design thinking. In 2226, AI didn't replace attackers. It scaled their thinking. The core strategies stayed the same, but speed and realism increased. AI influences malware design by improving social engineering realism and personalization, accelerating reconnaissance and environment mapping, enhancing adaptability to defensive changes. This means attackers can test assumptions faster and adjust more frequently. But defenders also use AI, and often with better data. Defenders apply AI for faster detection across large environments, pattern recognition humans can't scale manually, automated response that reduces reaction time. AI didn't change the fundamentals of security. Discipline, visibility, and strong design principles still win the fight. Technology amplifies strategy, it doesn't replace it. Section 10. What defenders should remember. Malware succeeds when systems are poorly configured, users are overtrusted, visibility is limited, assumptions go unchallenged. Most breaches are not caused by genius attackers, but by predictable weaknesses. Malware fails when defenders understand attacker design logic. Security is layered and intentional. Monitoring is continuous, not occasional. Response is practiced before incidents occur. Defense is not about fear, panic, or constant alarm. It's about understanding systems deeply, questioning defaults, and reducing assumptions attackers rely on. Prepared defenders don't chase threats, they limit possibilities. You don't need to know how to build malware to stop it. You need to understand how it's designed to survive, adapt, and hide. That understanding transforms defenders from reactive responders into proactive architects of security. It turns incidents into lessons and lessons into resilience. Cybersecurity isn't about knowing everything. It's about seeing clearly, designing carefully, and responding deliberately. If you want more ethical cybersecurity education, real-world breakdowns, and defensive insight, subscribe to Cybercrime Hub. Stay aware, stay informed, and most importantly, stay protected.